Cha-ching, 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 people. This is Uncle P from Super Easy Forex, and I got a hot video for you guys. Today, you guys are going to learn something very, very powerful that's going to help you understand when to stay in trends and when it's time to hop the heck out. The trend is your friend until it hit peak areas. So we're going to cover that on this video. I'm excited for you guys to learn this information. Most traders are reversal traders. Most traders are reversal traders, and they find it hard to win trades because they tend to look for reversals at the wrong time. You have things such as the market maker's method, which is a reversal trading method, looking for the tops and bottoms or the M's and W's at the high of the day, low of the day, and all those different things. There's many different reversal methods, but oftentimes people need to understand when you need to stay in a trend and when it's time to do reversals. So today I'm going to kind of help you out by showing you visually on the charts what I look for when I'm looking to do reversal trades. Okay, now before I move forward, I want to say a quick announcement. Number one, I am not your financial advisor, so I'm not trying to give you financial advice. Number two, I am never going to ever contact you asking you to invest into a Bitcoin investment or whatsoever. I hear that there's somebody out there trying to scam people saying I'm Uncle P and this and that. If I ain't doing no video and you don't hear my personal voice saying that I am the one who's doing XYZ, then don't believe it. Okay? Don't believe it. I teach people how to do things on their own. In other words, I teach you how to fish. I don't fish for you. Okay? All right. The examples I have, and if you have your charts, I want you to follow along with me regardless of what trading method or trading style you use. I'm going to use our trading system simplicity because it makes it very visually easy for you to see and understand exactly what I'm going to teach you. For all of my students who's going to watch this video, follow along using the simplicity system. You pretty much know this, you know the strategy, so this is kind of like a rehearsal for you. Because you pretty much know this stuff. I teach this in my classes each and every week. But for those who don't know, I'm just trying to help you out to understand what is a good time to start looking for reversals and when you need to just simply stay in the trend. Okay, the trend is your friend. So watch this. Here's an example right here on the chart. So if you go to the 4-hour time frame, Euro NZD on the 4-hour, you will clearly see that we have an uptrend. Okay, the trend was our friend. See, the arrow came in on the 4-hour and it kept trending. It did pull back here, and even this little small pullback was still significant number of pips. It was 95 pips to pull back to, and when it touched on the line here, you see it continued, touched again, kept on going, broke through, but came back up, broke through, came back up, and so the trend was our friend until it reached the peak. So here you could have got in on the 4-hour arrow and you would be up, if you took this arrow, you'd be up 352 pips. But we knew to get in a bit earlier. All right, here's how we knew. The trend stopped being my friend when it hit the peak areas. That's when it stops being my friend. It's no longer my friend when it hit peak areas. I'm going to show you about 9 or 10 examples, but I'm going to point out one that you do not want to do this technique on because it's risky. Okay, but I do have 9 other examples to show you. This is just one of many. I'm just starting with this one so that you can kind of understand. So now if we look at the trend line, and this is technical analysis 101 off the 4-hour time frame. So for those who know technical analysis, this is kind of like warm up for you, but stick with it because you're going to see something that is going to help you. Okay, so I just drew a straight up trend line from the base here, touched again, 3rd time. So this is an established trend, touched, came up, and here. Now here's what most technical traders are looking for: price to break through and then to come back up and retest, which you see it did right here. And let me kind of draw that in for you. Right here you see it came right in and came back up and retested that area right there. So that's what we typically look for if we are looking for a break of the trend line. But notice what you missed out on. You just missed out on another 357 pips. And this is just off the 4 hour. So is this a good technique? Absolutely. You see the break of the trend line and come back up and retest. That's basics. But what if you could have got in more? And as you can see, this would have put you at about 700 pips. If you look, and for those who are new, look at the number. All I did was grab my crosshair tool right here. I touch up here, hold down on my left mouse, and dragged, okay? To its lowest point, that was about 704 pips. Now, how do you know? Look at the middle number. You see 89/7042/166, okay, blah, 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 blah. The number that I want to look at is the one in the middle, 7042. Drop the last number and it gives you your pip count, which is 700 pips. So from the peak here to its base here, even if we go to where price action is right now, the market is closed and today's date is 2/26/2022. So it's Saturday. All right, the war in Ukraine is going on. So if you ever look at this video, even if it's 5 years from now, you will know exactly the date and time that I'm looking at, where you can go back on your own charts and see this for yourself. So as you can see, from the crest, from the peak right here, all the way to its drop over here, that's still 634 pips. It says 63.49. Drop the last number in the middle and you have your pip count, 634 pips from the peak. Okay, so yes, we do have the trend line break and you can do that, but look at all this extra you could have had. Okay, so now what are we talking about then, Uncle P? What are you saying, brother? All right, well, let me get to it. Ching-ching, cha-ching, baby. Let's get the money. So what I'm looking for when it's trending, I'm looking at the overall trend itself. So the trend was trending up until it hit what I call Mount Everest. Okay, and with the simplicity system, we have our auto zones, and these zones will automatically come into play for me to show me what areas I need to pay attention to. Now, if price action continues to push through, the nice part is I don't have to try to figure out where to rezone the areas to start looking. Our system will automatically do that for you because it can only identify areas, it cannot control price. So that means, such as what's happening now, which is why I'm recording this video, if price exceeds this because of outstanding outside circumstances such as the war in Ukraine that's happening as we speak, then price action can push above its normal technical levels, not due to technical analysis, but due to some outside forces that is pushing it well beyond its boundaries. The good news is I don't have to keep redrawing my zones, because if you draw your own trend lines, if you draw your own stuff, that's fine. But I like to automate my stuff to make it simple for me, so at one glance I can take a look, and sometimes it will break through a different level a little bit further up and then come right on back down, which is what happened. Okay, so it can break up, but I know it's going to be in this area. But what do I look for, which is the question. So I'm looking at it touching and retesting areas of resistance. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. That's AUD, that's Euro NZD. Let's go to the next one. Let me show you another one. AUD NZD. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. See, the trend was your friend. You see this? See, it came even when the price touched. See, and how you draw a trend line, I'm gonna fix that. I got something hot for you guys coming out. I tried to have it ready for the first of the month, but me and my team, we added a bonus tool for you guys, and that's taking a little bit longer, but it's going to be well worth it. So we may push a little bit past the deadline on what I said I was going to do. So be on the lookout. I'll announce a big video from Uncle P to let you know that it's ready to go. I got some for you guys. But in the meantime, to draw a simple trend line, which I had to pay to learn, and it was not cheap, but you know, here's the deal. 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch. See this little red candle touch? Then you touch it again, then you come up here and it's touching. So this is a respectable trend line. Nobody would argue with that. But that's not the point. Where do I want to look at? Right here on the retest of my zones. See how it touched multiple times on the zones? Okay, that's where I'm looking. Where do I enter? I simply drop down to a lower time frame and wait for my arrow. Now, isn't that easy money? You see all that money that came in? Easy money. See, because what? The trend stopped being my friend. The trend is no longer my friend because, yes, it was in an uptrend, but at some point it crest Okay, and that's where I'm going to look for my reversal trades. What's going on is a lot of you traders are trying to find reversal trades on the smaller time frames, such as what's being taught. And again, I have no problem with the market makers method. I'm just simply saying I had to expand my knowledge past what I was being taught a bit, because I studied it for 2 or 3 years. I understand it like the back of my hand. You're looking for the higher the days, lower the days, M's and W's, or the double tops, double bottoms, and so forth, so forth. I get all that. Problem is, if it's in an uptrend on the higher time frames, that does not work, because the higher time frames are trying to push to go higher, and you may be getting caught in at M and W on the lower time frame, such as if you're looking for a M pattern on the lower time frames, yet the price action is trying to push higher, you're actually in the wrong direction. So I learned to start looking further out on the higher time frames to see what the story is on the higher time frames before I ever look for anything on the lower. But with our simplicity system, just throwing a little plug for it, it makes it easy, because once I see that you're trying to push up here and you're hitting Mount Everest, I'm just going to drop to that lower time frame and boom, boom. Cha-ching, cha-ching, baby. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Easy money. Let's look for another one. All right, here was another one that I hit real nicely on. ACAD. This just happened on Friday, okay? On Friday. And I'm going to show you an example of what not to look for, okay? But this one was a great one. How do I know? Let's highlight the area. Let's take a look. Bing, bing, baby. Bing, bing. So all you had to do, drop down, and there was some easy money. You see that? Right there. And even if you did it on the 5-minute, okay? Look at there. Ooh! Cha-ching, cha-ching, baby. Put that money in your pocket. Put that money in your pocket, baby. Get that money. Okay? Let's go to CAD Swiss. Let's keep it going. This is so cool. Oh, I love it. Now here's a buy opportunity. Buy. See how you can see it very clear. You can see it clear, crystal clear. And I love when it's retesting an area of establishment, because it's telling me that this is the floor and it's going to go up, create it. And by the way, market makers method people, just helping you out. Look at that. Oh, let me do this. I love teaching this stuff. Love teaching it. All right, so let me do it again. You see this? Let me move this out the way. And I don't want this video to be too long, so maybe I'll cut it off. I won't teach too much. I want to bore you guys. I got something else to show you towards the end, so make sure you hang to the end of the video. I got something amazing to show you guys as well. All right, you see that W pattern? See, I know the M's and W's, the double tops, double bottoms. That's cool. So you see that market makers method? You see that W pattern? Even the W pattern is established even on the 4-hour for those who trade market makers method. It doesn't have to be just on the 5 or 15 minute, the shorter time frames. It happens even on the higher time frames. Okay, so I do understand it. I know exactly what it looks like. I get it. That's why I'm trying to help you out. Now, here's what's cool about this. When I see it, watch this. So now by the time it makes the W pattern and break across here, you see, boom, touched up, it broke, but guess what? It came back down. Then it breaks this level, and then you see my arrow came in on the 4-hour telling me it's going up. And so yes, you would have been in some pips once it broke across this level. But the problem is guess what? And there's variations of it, so don't argue with me. But look at this. You missed out on 600 pips, boo. Look at that, baby. You missed out on over 600 pipperoos. Waiting for the break of the next. Okay? Waiting for this. No, you're too late. You're too late. So look at what I'd like to do. As soon as this thing is coming out and touching and retesting an area, baby, I'm looking for that on the higher time frame. Then you drop down to the lower time frame, and there you go. So now I have my opportunity. It's sitting right here. What do I wait for? Just for the arrow to confirm. And from here, you see the green arrow? You see that? Boom, boom, baby. 81 pipperoos. 81 pipperoos. You see that? Or you could even jump down to the 5-minute. Okay, let's go to the 5. Highlight. Woo, woo, woo. Can I woo, woo, woo? Okay. Can I woo, woo, woo? And now you're in a new established trend, because now the trend is no longer, the original trend is no longer your friend, meaning originally it was in a what? It was wiggling all over the place, but even with the wiggles, you can see it was a downtrend. Now the trend is no longer your friend because I caught it at the valley. What I mean by valleys is, let's go back here. Here, I call it the peaks, okay? Mount Everest is here. You see that? Because Mount Everest is the tallest mountain in the world, so I'm told. Now I go to the crest or the depths of the ocean, okay? The Mariana Trench is what they call it. One of the lowest places on Earth underneath the ocean. The Mariana Trench. So when it's reaching down to the depths, to the lowest point, it has nowhere else to go. Nowhere else. Even here, it went to the Mariana Trench, came up to take a breather. When it came back down to the very depths of the bottom, it still was established that this is the bottom. So therefore, it had nowhere else to go but to go up. So now, catch this. If you could have called it anywhere down here, boom, that's 100 pipperoos, boo. You see what I'm saying? Let me show you some more. Now, again, you can do this manually. And I know a lot of people like to be heroes. I don't use indicators. I'm okay. Well, do your thing. Go ahead and spend 2 extra hours drawing up your charts. Me, I like everything to be easy, simple, and visual, so that in a glance I can see what's popping off. Let's take a look at this one. This is to your Euro USD. As you can see right here, it retested an area. You see how it's testing this area? Okay, so it already established that this is the high. Okay, on the 4 hour. I can bring it all the way back to here, which was when? This was January 14th. So this whole area, every time it comes up in this range, it collapses. Came up in this range, collapsed. Came up in this range again. What you think I'm gonna do? Man, I'm gonna take this thing and ride it on into the sunset. Drop down to the 15-minute, look for that entry, and let's go to the highlight. This is so cool, man. I'm trying to tell y'all how to make this easy money. Look at that. Boom, boom. Wait for your arrow. See, here's the touch. Wait for the arrow, confirmation, and let that thing ride on down into the sunset. It has nowhere else to go. Let's go to another one. I'm going to show you so many examples. It's just ridiculous. Here we go again. Now, I drew a trend line. You can see this trend line. See, touch, touch, touch. Resistance trend line. See, resistance trend line. Touched, touched, touched. So this is established. Now you come up here and you drop. Now you coming back up to retest. Now notice what they do. Now pay attention to this. This is really cool though. Y'all gotta pay attention to this. This is why you need some zones or something visual. Okay? Because here's what happens. So when the price action came right here, let me get rid of this line. Y'all gonna watch this. You're gonna learn something today. Okay, now my students, this is kind of like review. You already should know this stuff because I teach it every week. But for those who don't know, I'm just trying to help you out. So take a look at what happened. So this is an established area, okay, on the 4 hour time frame. And I'm gonna show you an example on the daily, which is where I did that video about the triple T for you guys, okay? But look at this, okay, established. So this is a high, all right, on the 4 hour. So now it comes down, which created how many pips? Oh, about 60 some pips. Now it retests, but notice what it did. I'm gonna blow this up so you guys can see this. Notice what they did. They know that most people who actually do know what I'm talking about, they know they're going to start selling in this area. Why? So when price came here and touched this level, which matched here, people started selling. But what did they do? They pushed the price a few pips higher to take out the stop losses. Let's drop down to the 15-minute and you'll see it. Okay? Let me go to where my white line is. Right there. You see how they pushed this one candle just a few pips extra. Just a few pips extra to take people out. Why? Because most people trying to use as tight as a stop loss as possible. So this is where they put their stop loss, a few pips, 5 or 10 pips above this level, but they pushed it up a little bit more, knocked out everybody who was using this area as their stop loss and took you out. My students, what did I tell y'all? Y'all should know this. Use the zone off the 4 hour. If you know that this is the area and this is the zone, the top, push your stop a few pips above the zone. Okay? Now, if it keeps going and breaks through the zone, you already know the pattern is no longer valid and there's something else going on and you want to be out of the trade anyway. Okay? You want to be out because you don't want to be in a trade that is no longer an established pattern. It could be something going on that's pushing the price beyond its normal boundaries, so therefore it's no longer respecting it. You want to be out. So you do want to use a stop loss, okay? Such as what's going on with price action with gold and everything else. Gold shot through the roof. It did not respect any technical levels. It was just breaking through everything. Why? Because of the war, not because of typical price action. So if that's the case, yes, you do want to absolutely use a stop loss. You want to be Mr. Hero or Mrs. Hero. I don't use no stop losses. Okay, that's cool. I do. Okay, I do. So therefore, move it up above the zone so that you're in the clear. And what it do, it touched the very top, retested the top, and then look at this major drop to the bottom of this next zone. 331 pips. All right, I can go on and on and on. Let me go to UCAD because this video is already 20 minutes in. I can show you example after example after example after example. Okay, but that's okay. I don't want to do that. I don't want to bore you guys. Okay, plus I got something else to share with you guys towards the end. So let me get to this. Let's go to UCAD. Here's when I don't want it. Watch this. Here's when I don't want to trade it. Okay, let's go to UCAD. Right here, I don't want it. I'm good. I want to see if you guys can figure out why. Okay? Cha-ching, cha-ching, baby. I'm going to count to 5. See if you can figure out why I don't want this one. Okay? Here, I do want these. Look at this. It happened again here. It happens all the time. You only need about 2 or 3 of these a week to make you a lot of good money.
Power off.
Oh, sorry. That's my speaker. I only need 2 or 3 of these a week to make some good money. But here, this one, I don't want it. Yes, it worked out fine. Okay, it worked out fine. And yes, it made pips, but I still didn't want it. That made 113 pips. I don't want it. Why? All right, here we go. The reason why I don't want this one is because it is not established. You see, this is a long candle. So I don't know for sure if, and number 2, it was a wick, a huge wick, which means it was what? News event impacted. It only wicked like this and created this high because it was a news event. It wasn't normal price action. And so when I see that there's a lot of wicking going on, yes, for those who want to jump in and be the hero, go ahead. But I like when it's more established. You see this? More candles have retested this area, so it's a very solid confirmation area. I don't want a lone candle by itself. Yes, it can work, but I'm not a fan of it. So I tend to avoid these because I don't know what's going on. Okay, it's risky. Now, if this price comes down where it is, all right, watch this. I'm just going to draw a trend line. Okay, you see that trend line where I just drew it? Okay, from here. So if it comes, and let me do this. Your trend line is crooked, Uncle P. Man, get off of that. Relax. Okay, you don't have to be perfect. All right, so there you go. Okay, so now we have an established trend line. Okay, you see it? 1, 2, 3, and from down here. So we have it. So if this stops right here, and this is, by the way, look at the USD CAD H4. Today is 2/26, February 26, 2022 is when I'm doing this video. So just make sure to watch it from that time frame. And again, you can go on your own charts and do this stuff and test it for yourself. But if price action comes down, retest this area again, man, it's game over for me. I'm gonna smack them cheeks, boy. I'm gonna tear them cheeks up. Cha-ching, cha-ching, baby. Give me the money. Like this here. Watch this one. You see? This one don't have the zones because the zones are, the way we built them is to look for the recent areas. So yes, the zones won't go all the way back in history with simplicity because it's trying to look for the most recent to tell you the most recent data. That's what it's looking for, okay? But if that was the case back here, you would have had the zones right here and see where it touched right here. When price action shot back in, this is what I'm warning you guys of. If you're going to use this technique, wait for it to slow down. Why? Look what happened here. Matter of fact, let me move this out the way. This is when I would have taken it versus when I would not have taken it. Matter of fact, let me make this on red, rojo, okay? And I'm gonna wrap up this video. I know this video a little bit long, but I just want to teach you guys what to look for, how to make this easy money, okay? It's not hard. So I'm gonna make this one white and to show when I would not take it. And I'm gonna make this one, let's do green, okay? Let's do a color green of some flavor. Let's go ahead and do my favorite color, align. All right, so you see the green here, but this is what I'm warning you guys of. See right here, all right? This is where you want to be careful. I'm going to draw a vertical line, and let me move my line out the way for a minute. Kind of blow this up. Be careful. You see right here where this was the high, it established itself, came down, retested. So if you jumped in on this candle here and put a tight stop loss using this as the level, you would have lost. Why? Look at what they did. They broke up higher, then came and took out all the stops, came right back down, and then the thing just went into a monster drop. See, this, they know the areas that most sellers are going to look for reversals who understands what I'm teaching you. So therefore, here's the truth. The truth is price action itself is confirming what I'm teaching you in this video, because this is why they're taking out stops, because they know this is for those who do know what I'm teaching. They know that, okay, these people are going to start piling in right here on the retest on the high 4, okay? Therefore, this establishes that I'm telling you the truth, okay? On higher time frames, you enter on lower, but you look for this technique on the higher time frame, okay? Now, that means that they do understand that some people do get my concept, but what they fail to understand is that a lot of people, well, what you guys, many of you guys fail to do, here's your stop loss, real tight. And I'm gonna change that color. This one. Okay, and let's change that color to red. Or let's use yellow, okay? So you see the yellow stop, the yellow line is your stop loss. You see how tight you had your stop loss based on this candle, and now this one comes in and retests? Look what they did. They took you out, took you completely out, took you out, took you out, took you out. So therefore, what did they do? Took everybody out, took all your money, and then the major drop happened. But if you had had your stop above the zone, several pips above the zone. So let's measure how many pips, 25 pips. And I have been teaching you students that the average stop hunt is anywhere from 20 to what? 30 pips. Okay, so don't be afraid to use 40 or 50 pip stops. That's okay. Okay, not a big deal. Even if you had a $100 account and you had a 0.01 lot, man, that's only like $5 for a 50 pip stop. So don't be afraid, okay? But what happens is you're getting taken out because they know what I'm teaching you. Okay, many people understand this, but not on the higher time frames. And so that's what I'm trying to teach today, where you can make the big long-term money. Look at this drop after that, 473 pips. Ridiculous money. One trade, okay? One trade from the higher time frame. So my point is this: use a loose stop loss, which should have been about 50 pips. Even before this came in, I would have used a comfortable stop loss. Let me measure this, of about 50 pips or so. See, that's only 40 pips. I'm cool with 40 or 50 pips above that level, above the high, just in case. Why? Because their average is what? 20 to 30 pips average. Now, if it goes well above that, then I would need to be out of it anyway, because that means that something else is going on with price, and you know, the war could be influencing the price action. I just need to be out of the trade. But I don't want to be taken out of the trade because I'm using too tight of a stop loss. Okay? Being candy butt for the bankers. Okay? They love your little candy cheeks. Okay? They tap them little sweet cheeks. You got. Oh my God, let me hurry up and end this video before I get censored. Oh my God, that's funny. Yeah, they tapped them little sweet cheeks, baby. Come on with your sweet cheeks. Come on up in here. I know where you're going, baby. And then and they just took you out. Now you pissed because you knew you was right, and yes, they did. But see, that's why you want to use a looser stop loss. So if this was an area where I'm buying, okay, let me kind of make this white. Yeah, I need to hurry and cut this video. Get myself in trouble. Okay, here's a buy. Here's an example. And so I see this, and I decide I'm going to buy right here. I'm very comfortable with it. Why? Because it's touch. I'm cool with buying right there. You see it? Cool. Where am I going to put my stop loss if I have simplicity? Because I can clearly see the zones. What am I going to do? Bow, baby. I'm going to bring that thing down by about 40 or 50 pips. So let me measure out. See, it ain't much. Even if I did 40, put it right around there. Okay, let me do it again. It's about 43 pips. Cool. Out of the way. Not a big deal. Okay. If you had a $100 account with a 0.01 lot size, it's only $4.30. So relax, people. Relax. Okay. So then it took off and I got my money. Okay. All right. Enough of that. I think you guys get the point. I want to send a shout out. Let me bring this on screen. Let me give you guys an update and wrap up. And I got another announcement. Don't go nowhere yet. One more announcement. I want to say this to everyone. Last week we did very well. Thank you, Mr. Elvis and Miss Jenny. Oh my God! Which, by the way, Miss Jenny, we want to send a shout out and congrats to her. And she does have a verified MyFX book account, verified within a year's period. She made over 250,000 pips. Okay, 250,000 pips. Congratulations to her. And she does trade as scalps live. Okay, but she records all of her tradings on a journal, and she's teaching students. And so if you want to be a professional scalper, I'm just encouraging you, join the Signals group and take her live classes, and you will get another trading system with her because you'll have her scalping system. Okay, so you have a specific system for scalping. Okay, you're missing out. And Mr. Elvis, wonderful job. 9 wins, only 2 losses, 1 break even. And so this is our record for the month of February thus far. Okay, this is where we are for the month of just February. Okay, doesn't include January. This is just February. So if you haven't signed up for the Signal service, go to our website and click on join the Signal service. Last but not least, I do have a big, gigantic announcement for you guys that's going to be coming out. However, I don't like to do anything small. I like to do things really, really big to really be a blessing to you guys. So I am working on something extra on top of the original idea. It's taking a little bit longer for me and my team to get done with it, but it's going to be well worth the wait. So again, I will make a big announcement. You will see my face and hear my voice when it is time. We were targeting the 1st of the month, but it may be a little bit after that. I'm not going to rush it because it's too important for you guys' success. And so just be on the lookout for that, okay? If you think this video was helpful, please hit the like and subscribe button so that YouTube will know that people are interested in this topic, and therefore they'll share it with more people who are struggling in these Forex markets. And no, I do not monetize my channel, so I'm not asking you to do it for monetization purposes. I don't take advertisements, and I don't monetize my channel. It's simply just to help you guys, okay? All right. Hopefully you have a great trading week. And again, if you want our trading system simplicity, just go to www.superezforex.com and click on the join button, and I will see you in class, because it does come with free classes. I don't charge for the classes. I will see you in class on Tuesday. Yeah. Cha-ching, cha-ching, baby.